my name's Rendi, but most of you already know me as that one potato boy. You know, that one potato boy who did all that crazy shit with just raw potatoes, but also had to grind forever with only raw potatoes in order to do that crazy shit? Yeah, that one. Now, in my potato-only hardcore Ironman series, most of my time was spent researching the quests and achievements I was to do, as well as actually grinding out and getting the stats and items required to do those quests. Now, Icthlarin's Little Helper quest was a quest that I was going to be doing that was actually supposed to be relatively easy, although I would need help from the potato warriors to box some of the mummies on the way to the boss rooms. So after a very long grind of testing, I went ahead and proceeded to start the quest Icthlarin's Little Helper on the hardcore Ironman.
That's a lot better than we usually do.
Alright, thumbs up.
Ready, guys?
Let's do this.
Oh my god, he just ran in. Save him! Oh geez, stick and clean! Oh Jesus, let's go.
Don't worry, that's not how it really ended, but everything was very suspicious and I had this whole quest planned out to a T. But this was the result on what was supposed to be an easy part of the quest just 15 minutes in. I will be using my 15 years of game knowledge and experience to put myself to the ultimate test. So I went ahead and crawled in bed and cried myself to sleep after this one. But to my surprise, shortly after, I would wake up and hear a voice that would inspire me to go on my next journey.
Wake up.
Rendi, after completing graduate school, you have done nothing with your educated mind but wasted away on a children's medieval clicking game. And I have never been more proud of you. I, God, am the one who DDoSed you earlier today in order to change your entire destiny. Rendi, you are better than this. You do not need to be wasting your time grinding on an Ironman that can only eat potatoes for hours just to do one challenge. This is 2019, and you are not settled. You don't need to build an Ironman to prove yourself and grind for hours of pointless content. Instead, let's just get straight into the real content, which takes research and skill. And that's when I realized, with the sound advice from the burning potato plant, I could go ahead and do any challenge I wanted to, and it would be the same level of difficulty with or without the prior grind of getting the levels and gear necessary to do it. Therefore, being an Ironman was pointless to me. It just meant I had to grind more in order to do the harder tasks which I could just do right away on a normal account. As well, no longer having to be a hardcore, I won't have to worry about the idea of death, meaning I won't just be disturbed by a little server lag or even a total DDoS by God like we saw today. As well, this series won't be restricted to just one account. I can go ahead and make lower accounts for lower level challenges in different areas, and I can go ahead and do less pre-work, meaning the series can last forever, and I'll be putting out more content that is actually skillful and challenge and not so much grindy like the Ironman experience. So after dying on the hardcore and coming to all these realizations, I wanted to welcome you all to my new series.
Lower, better.
Now the craziest thing about putting this idea into a new series that I will be making is that it actually isn't a new idea at all, and it is an old idea that I've been actually basing around my accounts for the last 5 to 10 years when going for low combat level achievements. The difference here now though is I will be formatting it into a proper series, and obviously I will be doing it a lot more frequently than I was just vaguely over the last few years. Now, unlike the Ironman series, I won't be putting in a lot of grind content into these videos, and almost all of the video footage you will be seeing is me analyzing and doing the actual challenge, being the minigame or quest that it is. I will take about 1 to 2 weeks per challenge, and even if I fail these challenges, I will make a video on them and later return back to the challenge and try it once again. Now, I will not be shooting to get the lowest combat on every single reward in the game, but I'll be trying to get close to it, and some things that I deem too grindy I won't even touch. But definitely in this series I will try and break some all-time lowest level combat records, if not close to it. As well, even if I'm in the middle of an achievement and I'm at the lowest theoretical combat possible to do it, and I deem it to be too easy even with that restriction, I will go ahead and set food restrictions on the account like I did once before on potato only. Therefore, if a task such as a quest seems to be too easy, I'll go ahead and restrict my account more and do it from there. By restricting myself to different food, I can therefore still portray the mechanical skill used in very niche situations throughout RuneScape. Also, I know a lot of you will be glad to hear this, but I'll be limiting myself to actually not using any alternate accounts on some achievements I deem to be a little bit easier, and that's going to be most of them completely. This is because the chance of death doesn't actually end the entire series, and I can go ahead and test different theories without alternate accounts. As well, because I won't be using alts so much and I won't be so worried about death, I'm going to go ahead and be streaming more on twitch.tv, so I'm going to put the link for that in my description below. Also, once again, as always, if you guys enjoy the content, a subscription to my channel here would be very much appreciated, and if we somehow hit 1 million subscribers someday, I will literally change my legal first name to Rendi. So the main reason I came out with this video today is basically just to introduce you guys to my new series and go ahead and describe what happened with the hardcore. But I will be giving you also a sneak peek as to what is coming with episode number 2 of this series, which will actually just be out within 1 to 2 days after this video. So, for episode 2's achievement, I've made a fresh level 3. What do you guys think I'm going to be doing with an account with a username such as this? Well, for one, I've already been breaking into jails and rescuing kittens. But what I really want to do is get some damn revenge. So to start, I'm going to go ahead and try and knock out Icthlarin's little helper with no alts helping me kill NPCs. But this time, also on a level 3 with no cannon. So while we're all here, let's go ahead and see how great this idea works out. Okay, so maybe I didn't think this no alt idea entirely through, but I promise you for the next video I won't be using alts. So the great thing about this place is actually there is only one mummy spawn next to the fall if you fail it, which you do many times. As well, this place is single weight combat, meaning I did end up getting on a main and boxing that mummy with flowers to avoid getting one hit on the fall of the trap, as there's no other way to go around this damage. Finally, I made this jump for the first time and got past that step in the quest. And luckily later in the quest, some of the jumps actually go straight into cutscenes and don't actually require you to jump the pass. Unfortunately though, now we're at one of the worst parts of the quest where you actually have to kill this sub-boss. Oddly enough, this boss has a farther attack range than that of the final boss in the quest, and it can also hit the same amount of damage. Meaning that this boss is actually technically harder than the one later in the quest, besides a few HP levels. As well, this boss has a weird attack that's a purple magic cast which can do its max hit of 7, along with stacking with other strike spells if you're far enough away from the boss. Therefore, you want to be close to this boss, especially with 10 HP. So actually on the hardcore I was just going to put my cannon down and run out the door in order to kill the NPC here, but on this level 3 I don't have a cannon, so I'm going to try and do the safest method possible first, which is leaving and exiting through the door while taking 1 damage and leaving again through the door each time my recoil goes off on the NPC. Unfortunately though, guess what I found out? This NPC has a 5-minute despawn timer, meaning after 5 minutes it'll just go ahead and disappear if you don't have it killed off. As well as to those who will probably shout in the comments, why didn't you wear a Ring of Life on potato only? Well, you can't actually teleport out during the middle of this quest. These NPCs in this quest are also immune to both poison and venom, and you actually have to do 1 physical damage besides the Ring of Recoil in order to proceed to the next step in the quest. Therefore, I would have to face tank all the fast hitting damage as well as make sure I hit this NPC before it died in a 5-minute time period, making it a lot harder than I imagined. This actually would take me over 10 attempts, but I got tired of banking, so I called in a good old friend. My loyal steed, Chespra. So after about 10 attempts, some of which I was even out DPS'd and died, as well as about after 600 sweets from Chespra, I went ahead and finally hit a 1 and was able to recoil the NPC before the 5-minute despawn timer. So what really sucks in this quest is after you get this symbol and you jump over, you realize that you shouldn't have taken it and it requires you to jump back over and put it back where you found it. Normally that wouldn't be a problem, but of course this is me, so we're gonna run into some issues. So, how many jumps does it take to get to the other side of this cliff? The world may never know. We finally made it through Heaven's Gates, so now we can put this stupid thing back where it belongs. Now after making my symbol, I can go back in the pyramid and head towards the final boss. By the way, this next clip is a lie, and I actually failed this thing another 4 times. The final boss in this quest actually has a shorter attack range than the sub-boss as we talked about earlier, meaning I can actually safe spot out of his range behind this table. But guess what? This boss has the same 5-minute despawn timer as the previous one, but with 10 more HP. Meaning I need to face tank this boss as well as hit it, and make sure it almost hits me every single time so my recoil can bring it down fast enough before it despawns. So after several attempts, I finally got that boss kill, but we weren't finished with the quest yet. Before completing the quest, I had to have some fun and learn a new emote. Chest bra. Once again, if you guys enjoyed today's video or the idea of this series, a subscription to my channel would be greatly appreciated. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll be out with episode 2 very soon. Chest bra.